focus on hitting your goals in every area of your business. Remember, the universe rewards the bold. A leader has to take the risks.
We're talking about the 9 things that you need to know in your 20s. If you're a 20-year-old, get all your 20-year-old buddies, get them around and watch this together. Make sure you share this, subscribe and share this with everybody you know, especially people that are in their 20s. You know, I got started in business at 21 and I made a lot of really good choices. Because I made good choices, I put myself in a position where I was financially independent by the time I was 28 years old. So we're going to be talking about all the things that you absolutely need to understand and need to do in your 20s if you want to have a great 30s and 40s and beyond. Listen up, here we go. Number 1, learn how to set compelling goals. And I think it really comes down to, does your why make you cry? Does your why make you emotional? Do you really know why you want what you want? Is it just that you want it because it just looks good, or do you want it because it's going to fulfill your life? It's going to make you grow. It's going to make you be happy. It's going to bring joy to your life. If the goal is compelling, if the why is big, if you understand why you're willing to pay that price. You and I both know there are no get-rich-quick schemes. When you decide that X is what you want, and it makes you a little emotional, and it makes you feel passion, it makes you feel happy and joyful and grateful that you get the opportunity to do whatever it is that you want to do in your life. That's when you know you're on the right track. So step number 1 is set your goals. So for example, what I did at 21 years old, I wrote down 150 goals of a lifetime. Everything that I ever dreamt of wanting. And by the way, don't be realistic. Set your goals based on what is going to bring you happiness. The goals are exactly what it is that you want, like exactly what it is that you want. Maybe it's the house on the hill. Maybe it's the exotic car. Maybe it's, that you want to be somebody that people respect. Maybe it's, throwing the first pitch at Dodger Stadium one day. Maybe it's donating a building to City of Hope Cancer Center. Maybe it's giving more to your church. Whatever it is that you want, write it down. Could be 100, could be 150, could be 1,000 things that you want to accomplish in your life. The first step is you got to write it down. You got to be specific about what it is that you want, and then give a time frame by when you want it. If you start with that, it's going to put you on the track to have a great 30s, 40s, and beyond. Number 2, learn the art of discipline. What's discipline anyways? Discipline is doing the things that you don't really feel like doing, but actually doing them anyways. I don't think if we were to take a poll, most people do not get joy out of working out. I know I don't get joy out of working out. Now I work out because I want to have a fit body. I eat healthy because I want to be healthy, but it's not necessarily joyful for me to eat healthy and to work out every day. Now, granted, there are some people that their passion is working out. God bless them. That's awesome. Some of us aren't like that. Some of us have to do things even though we don't feel like doing them. That's called discipline. Having discipline in maybe self-improving, having discipline to getting up at the same time in the morning, having discipline to eat that meal that you know is good for you, even though you'd rather have the ice cream. That's discipline. If you master discipline in your 30s, the 40s and the 50s and the 60s become very easy because what happens is that you develop habits, right? You've all heard that. If you do something for 21 days in a row, it generally will become a habit. If it becomes a habit, it becomes a way of life. When something becomes a way of life, it then becomes a lot more fun because you enjoy doing it because you've been doing it for so long. It's pretty consistent in your life. And it just, you know that you got results the last time you did it. So you continue to do it and you continue to get results. Even though I didn't feel like doing some things, I continually did them because they were bringing me the things that I wanted in my life. Encourage you, push yourself to do things even though you don't feel like it. That's really when the joy comes in your life. Because what happens is there's going to be a situation in your life where you didn't feel like doing something, but you did it anyways, and you actually accomplished something. You won. You hit a goal. You accomplished that life's goal, or maybe for the week, you wrote the sales that you said you were going to write. You hit a goal, you won a contest, whatever it is. You accomplished something, you achieved something. And because you did, you felt proud of you. Felt proud of yourself. You felt great about you, yourself, about doing something that you pushed yourself to go do. That is progress, and that is growth. Number 3, learn how to eat clean. We talked about eating healthy, having the discipline to eat healthy. But when you eat clean, what I mean by that, I mean that you're going to take in less sugars, take in less carbs, and eat more natural foods. You want to eat meat? Eat natural meat. If you want to, have a juice or a smoothie or something like that, put a bunch of lettuce in there, put a bunch of spinach in there, put a bunch of kale in there. Make it really green and clean. Maybe put a little protein powder in there, or put a little bit of, something that has, greens in there. Put a little bit of ice, put a little bit of oat milk or almond milk or something like that. Give yourself something that's clean instead of candy and junk food and a bunch of hamburgers with a bunch of cheese. Remember, cheese will clog your arteries. Cheese is not necessarily good for you when you eat a lot of it. So try to start eating more clean foods. Drink a lot of water. You want to constantly flush out your system. I always thought about my body as being a trash can. Trash can gets full. When that trash can gets full, you want to constantly cleanse your body of all the toxins, of all the food, of all the sewage that's constantly going in your body. When I drink a 32-ounce green drink, nothing but spinach and lemon and ginger and green apple and whatever, right? It's good stuff like that. Maybe some cucumber in there. When I drink a 32-ounce green drink, guess what happens to my body? Because there's some fiber in there and there's some things going on. I flush, I cleanse my body. So if you constantly drink water and constantly drink green, and you're always looking for ways to cleanse your body, then guess what? You're clean. It's less likely that you're going to get cancer later on. It's going to be less likely that, especially guys, a lot of guys get prostate cancer. And the reason why, and of course, I'm not a doctor, but this is the way I look at it. And I could be wrong if you are a doctor, but I think that when you're not cleansing your body, a lot of stuff builds up in there, ultimately becomes cancerous. Just remember, and I was told this by a cancer patient that ended up, getting cured of cancer, or at least in remission. And She told me, she said that when you're admitted to a cancer center, when you get cancer, when you're admitted to a cancer center, by the way, this cancer center has cured 2 people that I know, okay? 2 people that have entered that cancer center and left and were healed, or at least they're still around here 10 years later after they had cancer. They told me that the minute you go into that cancer center, the first thing that they do is they put you on an all green diet. So greens are good. Eat lots of greens, always. Like every meal, you should have a salad with your meal. Greens are good. The other thing that I drink every once in a while, I like to drink kombucha. I feel like it cleanses me. Before I go to bed at night, I take some magnesium. Magnesium's super, super good for you. It also cleanses you as well. As long as you're, constantly eating vitamins and minerals and taking supplements, and then also eating good foods, protein. I do eat eggs. I'm not a vegetarian or anything like that. I do eggs. I do fish, salmon, white meat, and then I also do fillet, very lean steaks from time to time. Eat clean, eat good, eat green. Constantly cleanse out your body, and you'll give yourself the chance of living maybe a little bit longer. Number 4, learn how to exercise. I said earlier, I'm not a gym person. Never did the gym thing. Never, got up at 5 in the morning and drove to the gym and worked out all day long. Never did that. But what I did is I had a little simple routine that I do every single day that allows me to get through a routine in pretty short order. It's kind of fun too. If you really think about what I do get a little bit of boxing in. So I have this VR system, and it has boxing, and I do boxing for, I'll do 4 or 5 rounds with guys that are actually punching at me. Of course, I'm punching back. I'm sweating by the time we're done. So pretty good little workout. I also have some other little games that are kind of fitness games inside of the VR. Fantastic, love it. Sweat, move around, get your body moving around. I also like to meditate in the morning. I also do yoga. So I have a little yoga instructor on my phone, and he tells me exactly the stretches. He tells me exactly how to breathe, get a lot of breath, breathing exercises in the morning. I also have some barbells. I have a pull-up bar that I do. A certain amount of pull-ups in the morning, and then of course I do my push-ups, my sit-ups. I have a medicine ball, lots of sit-ups. I also have a trampoline that I try to get some quad exercises done there, and of course that's good for my cardio and my breath and breathing, and also my legs get worked out pretty good. I do some walls, squats, and of course, I'm squatting during a lot of the boxing that I'm doing and moving around my abs a lot. And of course, my legs are moving, and then some other exercises that I'm doing as well. So that's kind of a little bit, gives you a little bit of, I do some barbell weights and some bands. I also have some bands. So I'll try to mix up the little workouts, every single day. And I might only do 3 days a week. But one thing I do every single day, at least 6 days a week, is I do at least 50, 60, 70 push-ups in a row. And I try to do that every single day before I get in the shower. So if there's a day that I'm in a little bit in a hurry and I jump in the shower right away, I make sure before I get in that shower, I do my 60, 70 push-ups in a row, and just kind of gets my heart pumping, gets me moving. I like to turn on some music in the house, in a surround sound system that we have. I like music in the morning, kind of gets me thinking. It gets my juices flowing. And it's just, try to learn how to exercise. Have a routine that you do no matter what, and it'll keep your heart pumping the right way, keep you kind of in a little bit of a consistent habit that you always know that you can do something without having to go to the gym and waste all that time. Number 5, learn the benefits of meditation. I use a little meditation tool. It's called Muse, M-U-S-E, and it helps me to control my breathing with sounds that either escalate if you're not focused. As you get focused, the sounds de-escalate, and they and throughout the sounds, as you're focusing just on your breath, it allows you to empty your mind, to clear your mind, and just focus on your breath. It's one of the most amazing things that I've ever started doing to kind of get my mind right for the day. Only takes about 10 minutes. And also, what's kind of cool about it is as soon as the meditation is done, it allows me time to journal my thoughts. So if I had a good meditation and I was focused on my breath, it'll tell you that you had a good meditation because it's actually reading the brain waves that are, it's reading your mind. It's understanding whether your mind is really active or if it's very calm. So out of 10 minutes, I generally can stay calm for 6 minutes, 7 minutes in some cases. Sometimes I can only stay calm for 4 minutes. It just means my mind has a lot on it, thinking too much. I'm doing, maybe my life is a little bit too chaotic. So it kind of lets me know that, hey, look, you need to chill out a little bit. You need to remember the things that are important. You need to focus on your health and make sure your health is a top priority. Number 6, learn the importance of being grateful. I think sometimes in this society, we just want, because we're kind of a microwave society. And I just want you to know that being grateful is one of the most productive things that you can do every day. You get up in the morning and, I like to, say I'm grateful. I'm thankful for several different things, whatever it is that I feel that I'm grateful for at that time in my life or on that particular morning. I like to say it to myself. I'm grateful. Thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you for another day. I am grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my business. I'm grateful for my friends. And then you guys have probably heard me before. I say, great things always happen to me. And I try to get myself in that mindset of positivity, of excitement, of momentum, of really feeling great about what it is that the day has to offer for me. When you get in a grateful state, what happens is you start to think about solutions. See, if you're always negative, if you're always pissed off, if you're always mad at something, you're not grateful. So what happens is you become repelling to people instead of inviting people into your life. Like I want to always pull people to me versus repel people away. So you're pulling people by being grateful, by letting people know that you're appreciative of them, that they're important to you, that you're thankful for them being in your life, and also thankful for whatever it is that's going on in your life. It brings more to you versus pushing things away. So positivity is good. Motivation is good. Feeling good is good. You want to feel good. The better you feel, the better you believe in yourself. The more you believe in yourself, the better opportunities you're going to have for your life. Number 7, learn compartmentalization. Compartmentalization means you're going to put all the areas in your life in a little box. Okay, for example, you're going to put your spiritual life in a box. Now, I want you to pray, go to church, I want you to believe in God if that's important to you. You need to do that when you need to do that. For example, if you have to work, you can't sit there and pray all day as you're working. Now, you could visualize in your mind, you can think good thoughts, you could thank God for the job, you could do all that. But you can't go to church when you're at your job. So when you're focused on working, and I'm talking to all the entrepreneurs out there, this is very important for you because you don't have this structured schedule like so many other people do when they're working at a job. So you have to really get good at this compartmentalization thing, because otherwise you'll be all over the place. And that's not really productive if you're trying to build a company, build a business. So for example, like when you're at church, be present, be there with God, connecting with God. But when you're working, connect with your work. Be there working. Do what you feel is necessary to work and to stay focused and to do the things that you got to do. But when you are not working and you're with your kids, be with your kids, be present. I was at my daughter's soccer game today. I was present watching her. When she was on the field, I was with her. I was watching her. I was videotaping. I was taking photos. I was thinking about her. I was giving her good vibes. I was maybe saying, "You, great job. You're awesome. I'm proud of you." After the game, we talked about it. We were together on the ride home, and I was present with her, asking her, "What did you do good? What did you do bad? What can we get better at? How can we improve?" I was with her. I was present. That's called compartmentalization. Now, right now, I'm with you. I'm doing this video right now. So guess what? I'm not with my kids. I'm not thinking about my kids right now. I'm thinking about being present with you, trying to give you and offer you as much value as I possibly can. It's called compartmentalization. Now, this is why this is so important, is because when you get this, you become extremely mentally sound. You become extremely mentally tough, believe it or not. So challenges come up in life, and guess what most people do? They fold like a cheap tent. Something happens to their dog, and next thing you know, they can't function for 5 weeks. So when something goes bad in my life, when I have a tragedy, when God forbid somebody passes away, when we have a client, something happens, we have an agent that gets sick, there's a lot of things that have happened over my 2 decades in business. And guess what? Compartmentalize all of those situations. Give you a perfect example. My grandmother, when she was passing away years and years ago, I was building my business. I was getting my business going. So what I would do is I would go see her in the morning, go to the hospital, I'd sit with her, talk with her, spend time with her, let her know that I love her. There's nothing I can do. I mean, she was sick. She was, she was passing away. Prayed with her. Nothing I can do at that present moment to save her health. And by the way, if I were to neglect my business because I was sad that my grandmother was passing away, then I would have hurt my business and I would hurt my future family. I would hurt my kids, all because I was so devastated that my grandmother was passing away. But instead, I went to go see her. I mourned with her. I read with her. I prayed with her. I talked with her, loved her. As soon as I left that hospital, I didn't think about it anymore. Didn't worry about it, because there's nothing that I can do at that present moment to bring her back, to make her healthy. There's nothing I can do. So I stopped thinking about it and I focused on my business. When I left there, it was probably 9 o'clock in the morning. So I left there and I got busy for the rest of the day. And then the next day, I would come back and see her in the morning again. And I did that again and again and again. Let her know I loved her. Let her know I cared about her. Nothing I can do to change anything at that present moment. Once I left that hospital, there's nothing I can do. So I had to keep it out of my mind and focus on the task at hand. So, because I know that my grandmother loved me so much that she never would have wanted me to ruin my life because she was passing away. And she told me that. She wanted me to be successful. She wanted me to go out and change my life and be successful and create a great future for my family and future kids that were going to come one day. That is compartmentalization. Number 8, get along with people. You got to learn to get along with other people. So there's a book that I would highly recommend. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And what it is, it's a book about how to get along with people. The truth is, you get more from people with honey than a gallon of gall. Okay? You get more out of people with honey versus a gallon of gall, a gallon of whining, a gallon of complaining, a gallon of bitching, a gallon of moaning, a gallon of being upset, a gallon of revenge, a gallon of getting back at somebody, a gallon of saying nasty things about something. You get way more from people out of life if you're nice to them, if you treat them good, you say nice things, if you open the door for people, if you smile. Come on, right now, man, just smile with me, would you please? Just smile. You're big. I don't care if somebody's watching you. Just smile. Give a giant smile. And then today, go smile at a few people. You know what? Notice something about somebody. I'll go into, Chipotle. I like to eat at Chipotle, so I'll go up to the counter and somebody's serving me food, and I go, man, you have really cool eyes. And it's amazing how they just want to be nicer. Matter of fact, they give me like a little extra scoop of chicken sometimes. And it's amazing how, and not that I want that, not that I'm doing it for the extra scoop of whatever, or the free drink or something like that. I'm doing it because I genuinely want to be that kind of person that goes around and cares about people. It's just nice to people. You know, if I'm driving my car and somebody wants to get through the line, I let them through the line. When like I said, if I'm walking to a door and I'm going to let them in first. I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to be the nicer person to them just for the sake of being nice. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a law of attraction. It's just the way that the universe works. My life continues to get better. My life is 10 times better today because I've been nice to so many different people in my life. I tell people all the time, I appreciate you. I tell people all the time, I care about you. I tell people all the time, I love you. Every comment, every post that people send me through social media, guess what? I send them a little message back. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you sharing. And by the way, if you were to share this video with somebody you know that's in their 20s, I would appreciate that. I would appreciate you, subscribing to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate you going on to my Instagram. Now, whether you do or not, I'm going to still make videos. I'm going to still try to add value. I'm going to still try to do good things no matter what. But it's funny how people, they watch my content or they watch my videos or they're engaged in me teaching them things. And guess what? They're like, you know what? I like Daniel Alonzo. I like this guy. He seems like a really nice guy. He seems like a down-to-earth guy, cares about people, wants to see people do good. And so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to like their stuff. I'm going to comment on their stuff. I'm going to be nice back. It's truly amazing how life works. The nicer you are, the nicer people will be back to you. And the truth is, if you ever want to build a business, if you ever want to be successful at anything, you're going to have to ask people to help you sometime. And they're only going to help you if they feel like you deserve for them to help you, if they like you. Remember, people will spend even more money on your product if they like you. People don't always want to get the cheapest price. They want to sometimes get the best service. They want to know that the salesperson cares about them. They want to know that that salesperson is going to give them amazing service. And if you're a nice person and you treat them good and you're always thinking about how can I make their life better, your life as a result gets really, really good. And number 9, learn how to communicate effectively. The reason why you want to communicate effectively is because life is communication. You want to make a lot of money? You want to become successful? Of course you do. So guess what? You got to communicate. You got to talk to people. You got to share a message that's passionate, right? You got to share a message that means something to someone else. If you have a product or service, is that product or service something that you could communicate better? Maybe somebody's going to give you an objection one of these days. Are you going to be able to communicate how to overcome that objection by asking really good questions? That's really what communication is all about. It's about posing questions so that you can figure out what it is that the client wants. What is it that you really want? What is it that's really stopping you? What's holding you back? Can you level with me? Is it me? Is it my company? Is it maybe something I said? What you're trying to do is you're trying to communicate your message, but at the same time, when that communication is not going in the right direction, you have to stop, ask a question, because remember, whoever is asking the questions is in control of the conversation. So if you ask good questions, that means you're in control of the conversation. Usually the person that's in control of the conversation is the one that wins. And what I mean by winning is it just means that you're able to communicate your message effectively. How do we know if it was effective? Well, when they give you a check, we know it was effective. When they say yes to your product and service, that means that it was effective. And so when you become really, truly effective in your communication, you will become worth millions and millions of dollars. Look, don't you for a second think that you can't become a millionaire, because you can become a millionaire. You just have to start thinking like a millionaire. You need to start communicating like a millionaire. You need to start getting results like millionaires get results. That is all comes about because you become an effective communicator. Remember, all of the great wealthy people of the world at one point had to sell a product and service. A lot of young people right now, they're opposed to selling. They're like, I don't want to sell anything. I just want to work at a job. Well, that's fine, but you're never going to become wealthy working at a job. In my opinion, you're better off being an entrepreneur, having a product or service, effectively learn how to sell that product and service. That will give you the best odds, the best chances of becoming successful in America or North America, wherever you're listening. Effective communication starts with you practicing. Practice your craft. Sit in front of a video. Have a conversation with yourself. Share your message and then share it with somebody you know and say, hey, would you buy my product and service? If I share this with you, would you buy it? Or maybe get somebody on a Zoom that loves you and say, hey, can I try to sell you my product or service? And they may say no in the beginning. But guess what? As you become experienced, you start to figure out what works and what doesn't work. If you have a good process, you can kind of figure that a little bit faster. There are people like me that will coach you, believe it or not, on how to become better and more effective in the future. And I do that through what's called a Wealth on the Beach Club. And every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I offer a Wealth on the Beach Club. And it's a private Facebook group. We bring you in and we teach you and we coach you and we mentor you every single week. A lesson for 30 minutes and then a 30-minute Q&A with me to ask all your pressing challenges and I teach you how to solve those challenges. So it literally is starting a relationship with me and allowing me to take you under my wing and to guide you towards that next level of your life. So if you've enjoyed this podcast today, if you've enjoyed this YouTube video today, I encourage you to go out there and turn on the notifications so you'll always get my videos. And of course, subscribe. Do me a favor. It helps with the algorithm. It really it's a big deal for me. Please subscribe. Please make sure you share it if you got value from this. If you didn't get any value, trash it. Next one, let's see what we can do. But if you got a little bit of value, something that meant something to you as a young person, maybe you're a little bit older than 20s, maybe you're in your 30s or 40s right now, and you're listening to this, you're saying, you know what, I got a nephew, I got a cousin, I got a kid, I got a granddaughter that needs to hear this message so that they can have an amazing 30s and 40s and beyond.